Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelly, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in.
All right, welcome to the next episode. This is going to be a fun one. It's something near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
Fur babies.
Yes. And I am Angie.
And I'm Shelly.
Welcome to the Hot Flash Chronicles.
I don't know why I did this. I'm telling.
Yeah.
Hello. I don't know what that was. I apologize. That was weird.
It's like just Jack.
So, fur babies. Okay. I am a huge fan, and I 100% believe that there are cat people and there are dog people.
Yes.
I absolutely have friends who are cat people.
Cat people are both. They claim.
Are just animal hoarders. They're just
Hoarders.
they'll have anything. They'll
Don't
just have,
throw shade.
I-
We don't.
I say animal hoarders with love because I'm kind of one of them myself.
Fair.
But I do think
Birds, right?
I have a bird. That's not a normal pet. And it really is
It's not abnormal. It's not
We'll
like you
talk
have like
about
an alligator or something.
or feathery. I mean, I could probably bond with one of those too.
Sorry.
But I think that there are kind of personalities that are drawn more towards different animals. And it's because of the personality that the animal has.
Do you want to hear something ironic?
Always.
So I am deathly allergic to cats. I don't think I've ever had a cat even because I'm super allergic. And I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
So, and I have autoimmune diseases, 3 of them. So I'm allergic to myself. Literally, my blood is allergic to my own blood. That's one of my autoimmunes. So, it's not funny.
No,
Like,
but it is.
yeah, I'm a Leo and I'm allergic to cats and I have an autoimmune. That's just like
Everything you could ever not expect happening at once. Yeah.
there's a lot to unpack.
But I think the people who are drawn to cats, I feel they live in a world of rejection. These cats are so,
I know.
Jeff
used to have cats, and like that was almost a deal breaker for him with me because he's a cat person as well.
Wow.
And he was saying last night, because we have 3 dogs, and it was last night or the night before, he was like, dogs just give you nothing but love. Like you're their whole world and they just can't wait to see you and get the belly rubs. And he goes, cats, it's more like you're just living with a predator.
Yeah.
That might grace you with their presence every once in a while. And you might get 3 belly rubs in and then it's like, no, that's too many belly rubs. Like,
we're not trash talking cats.
no, for sure. I can't.
I kind of like that they're mean as hell and do things on their terms.
I love that for them.
Now, and I've had a couple cats in my life too. I've peppered the there's different selections and they are.
Oh, they're so cute.
I had one that acted like a dog because all the other animals were dogs and he came as a kitten and he was very dog-like.
I had a dog that acted like a cat.
Yeah.
So
I know 3 chihuahuas that act like cats.
Yeah.
They're cat dogs.
Atlas was definitely a cat acting kind of like.
So they can be an a-hole in any form. They can be a dog a-hole or a cat.
Yes.
And those are all the ones that I have.
So we each have 3 dogs. It's not interesting. So mine are all small as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Schmorky named Harmony, which is a Shih Tzu Maltese Yorkie.
Harmony.
She's just like 10 years old, just over 10 years old, like 10 and a half. And we have Sabine Wren, which is a Star Wars name if you're a Star Wars person. We call her Sabine Wren, longest of dogs. And Harmony is Chica. We call her Chica.
Gotta have.
Sabine is a terrier rescue from Tijuana. There's an awesome organization that's a nonprofit called Casa Dog here locally. Yes. And they do a great job. She was actually rescued when her mom was pregnant with her, and she was the only one in the litter that survived. She'd been through 5 trial adoptions / fosters because, and I quote, she's a lot of puppy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, she's a puppy. They're like, no, we deal with puppies. She's a lot.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, how bad can it? And then we just a year ago, got Ahsoka Tano, Lady Tano. We call her Peanut. The neighbors' kids call her Peanut Butter. She's the tiniest little peanut. She's so small and the cutest thing in the world. And she was rescued by my sister by the train tracks in Texas. And my sister was like, she didn't want to take her to a shelter because they have kill shelters there. And she was like, I know you have 2 dogs, but do you want another dog? And I was like, this is never going to fly with my husband. And then I showed him pictures and he was like, we're going to get through it. So they were flying up for Christmas and they brought Ahsoka with them. They had named her, what did they name her? I can't remember what they had named her. Evie, maybe, like a Pokemon name.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, so we have 3 little dogs. And Sabine is 3 and Ahsoka is 1.
I have 3 dogs also, and they're all little. And that's mostly because my husband feels that he's a cat person. So when him and I met many years ago,
Self-proclaimed cat person. And he married a Leo.
we did. But I had 1 dog already before him, and that is my oldest dog, Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi has bit everyone.
I was the first person that he bit in drew blood.
Real blood.
So she had literally just acquired him
Got
from a
him.
shelter.
He was from a rescue.
Yeah. She had gotten him and she showed up to quartet practice and I was like, oh, you got a puppy. And I reached in and he bit the shit out of my hand to where I was bleeding. Like he
It was love at first bite.
he bit me like within an hour of
Actually, the only reason small dogs don't get put down for that is because they're small and tiny. When a big dog does that, they get rid of them. But little dogs, we see, oh, they're so little, they can't really do any harm.
And now we're at the point where he will occasionally let me pet him, but he still scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
He's cute as anything, though. He's cute.
He's a little old man dog now. I got him like 11 years ago or 12 years ago now, and he was they figured to be 3 or 4 years old then. So he's up in his teens now. He's a little old man dog, but he's still going strong because he's a rat terrier and a chihuahua mix, and that is a long-lived breed. And my British husband, when I get sad and I say, oh, he'll be gone soon, he's not going to live forever. And he goes, well, he'll only live to be maybe 20, but it'll feel like 45. That's what he says. It's been a long road with that one. He was abused. This is what happens when you get the shelter animals. And it really has taken his whole lifetime to get to a point where he feels safe and secure. He's finally in his golden years and he's a little, he bites less people now. So that's really good. Our second one is Bunny, and he came to us as a rehome. He had lived with one owner, but they were getting new puppies and he wasn't integrating him with the puppies, and they wanted him to be able to retire into old doggyhood. So he was 9 years old when we adopted him, and he's the sweetest little mix of Chihuahua and looks like Corgi. He's got those dummy little legs. So cute, and he's very sweet. Cute. He doesn't bite anybody, but his name was Spencer.
I remember that. You've had him for, what, like 3 years?
4 or 5 years now, and he was... that to me sounds Spencer. When you give human names to dogs, they have to fit, and that dog did not. We watched him run around the house. He hopped around, and we named him Buddy. We call him Buddy.
I saw somebody had a dog named Sarah.
Yeah, we sang a singing Valentine at this lady's house, and the dog's name was a little beagle, Todd. I don't know.
So random.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
I think it's funny, but Spencer just didn't fit him, so he ended up being Buddy. And the last one that we got is Chevy. He's pure Chihuahua. I found him running alongside of the road on my way home on a busy, busy highway. And I was like, oh my God, this little dog is going to get hit. So I pulled over, I took him in, and I took a picture of him and sent it to my husband just so he'd be a little scared. He's like, what is going on? He's like, what's going on? What's happening? Why is there a dog? And
what dog is that? Did we just get knocked out?
It's like, no, I'm just going to take him to the vets, and
I'm just gonna, famous last words, I'm just gonna do this.
Take him to the vet since he's not ours. So I did take him to the vets. He was chipped and through pet finders. And their spiel is they call the owners or whoever registered him and they say, hey, these people got your dog, get a hold of them and make arrangements to pick up your dog. Well, they did that on their end and the people never called. Mm-hmm. So 3 days later, I was like, what do we do now that they haven't called? And they're like, you can keep him or you can take him to the local shelter or you can find him a home. It's yours, do with what you want. So, of course, I'm like, let's keep him. And my husband's
Was it hard to talk Phil into that?
I think he knew that by the time the dog had stayed literally 1 hour in my house, that it was mine.
When we got Harmony, we were leaving Costco one day. And there was a van in the Costco parking lot that had a hand-painted sign that said, hypoallergenic puppies.
Oh.
And Jeff said, oh, look, hypoallergenic puppies. And I was like, interesting, because I'm allergic to most dogs. And I said, I just want to hold one and see if I'm allergic. Because if it says hypo, and he goes, we're not getting a dog. I'm like, okay. So I was like, I just want to see if I'm allergic. And so we pull up, and she was just a little fuzzball. I'll put pictures up. She was so cute and fluffy. Remember, she was like brown. We almost named her Mocha. Now she's like super light blonde.
Yeah.
And I'm holding her, and I'm not reacting. And another family comes up. I think they may have been a plant.
Yeah.
They come up, and they're like, are there any girls left? And I was like, nope, this one's spoken.
They just like, what just happened?
Yeah, we just get a dog, and we did just get it. And we were about to go on a big, long trip to Europe, which is where we got engaged. Yeah. So it was like we had to ask my son, like, are you okay with watching a puppy? Well, yeah.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, so that's how we got our Chica.
Yeah.
And speaking of older dogs, we had Atlas, and he was 19 and a half when he passed this year.
Yeah.
That is...
The little ones can live a long, long time.
It was heart-wrenching. I still haven't let myself properly mourn that.
Yeah.
We lost 3 dogs in a year, which is...
It's hard.
Brutal.
It is.
Brutal. It's awful.
I mean, to me,
yeah.
Animals, like when you invite them into your family, they're a pack animal.
Yeah.
And they become, to me, it's part of your family. Like,
yeah.
I try not to make my kids feel bad, but, I do make them call my 3 boys their brothers. I mean, I'm like, your brother wants it, and my daughter and my son are like,
okay. So I call my parents' dog Chloe, Lil Sis, or Lo Clo, and my son calls her Aunt Chloe.
Yeah.
Every time Aunt Chloe, come here.
Yeah, they're just like
scratches. Yeah.
But Chevy, Pathfinder's, his name was Chevy, and he's a road dog. I picked him up off the side of the road. So we kept that name, Chevy. But, your dogs all get nicknames. He's Shed Monster, which very much, one time Phil tried to grind his nails, and Chevy had big feelings about that. And within 5 minutes of him getting put on the ground after his nails got ground, Phil went over to let him out the side door, and you look down, he has like slides, like not flip-flops, but just the thing you slide your feet in.
Your dog or Phil?
Phil.
Okay.
I wish that, well, they do say that.
And say something like, your dog has shoes? I mean, now I know that's a thing, but I was like, I get the dogs can wear shoes, but flip-flops? Logistically,
how would that work? But Phil looked down and it had slides to go take the little dog outside, and the dog had pissed in them. He pissed in the slide. There was a puddle.
Oh, he was big mad about the grinding.
So mad about his nails
done. Then do you take him to a groomer?
Now we take him to
somebody else's shoes.
Yeah,
that's what I always think.
But he topped it off by we went into the bedroom because he had to go get his other pair of slides. And
okay.
On this side of the bed only was a small pile of poop from Chevy Monster, because he had big feelings. And I said, I think the message here is don't grind his nails.
Yeah.
I got the message. I don't speak dog, but I understood.
Right.
And clear.
So if you travel, what do you do with your pups?
I either have their brother come over, my son, because we have 3 of them, and
that's a lot. That's a big ask.
It is. It's a huge ask, and especially since they're not necessarily the most well-behaved pack in the world. But my son is used to them. And so he will come, like we take trips to go see my British family, my husband's family in England. We're gone for like a month.
Yeah.
And to top it off, though, we also have the bird, Finley.
Yeah.
We have a cockatiel. And
he's very cute.
He's so cute, and he is such a grumpy old man.
Is he?
Oh, my God. You guys, they're loud, obnoxious, they squawk all that. They also are a flock animal, so they will call out for you if you're not paying enough attention. So I hear from the other room, and it's loud. And I'm on the phone telemuting, and there's bird going off loudly in the other room, and I'm like, and then the dogs are running around with their nails on the hardwood floor, and I'm like, this sounds professional.
They can't hear it though. I run a Zoom for photographers every week. My dogs will be going ape shit because the Amazon driver's dropping something off.
Yeah, that's like a world.
I'm so sorry because it's right outside my office door at home. And they're like, oh, we can't hear anything. I'm like, seriously? Like, I can hardly hear my voice right now. And so they can't hear.
I have a quick story that involves, it's not really quick, but it's a good story about all of your animals living together and a doorbell. Because the doorbell really is a trigger for my chihuahuas. They freaking go and like a leaf can blow by outside and they go off. But if the doorbell goes off,
it's a bark fest. It's like a festival of barking.
So in our neighborhood, if you're going to do anything to your house, you have to go to your neighbors and have them sign off that because it's an HOA.
Wow.
We'll have
that kind of
on HOAs, but if you change your landscape and somebody else is going to have to look at it. So one morning, I had Finley, the bird, in the living room. He asked
your dog's not Jace Finley? Do you take him out of the cage?
Yeah, we do, and they've learned to leave him alone.
Oh.
Yeah, you can adjust them. At this time, we did not yet have Chevy. We just had the 2 older dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And he was being poopy. The bird was being poopy about getting on my finger. He would only do it once in a while. And he came out of his cage and he was sitting so nicely on my finger.
Oh, dear.
Phil was in taking a nap. The bird was nicely sitting on, the dogs were asleep on the couch. But the doorbell went off at the front of the house. And the bird immediately flew off my finger and started circling in our cathedral ceiling and squawking. He's going, wah, wah. Then the dogs are literally going off because the bird's going off and he's not supposed to be flying. So I have 2 dogs freaking out. The bird will not land back on my finger.
Oh, my kingdom for a video of this.
I'm yelling for Phil, who's taking a nap. I'm going, and there's dogs.
How did you not hear everything that was happening?
I don't know. But he heard me screaming his name in my panicked voice. I'm trying to get the bird because I can't open the front door or the bird will fly out. And we have like an open glass, and bevel glass. So I can see that the person is not leaving. They're still standing that way. Phil runs out from his nap in his tidy whities. And he's British, so he's going, oh my God, the bird's here. And he's trying to get the bird to land on his speaker.
Oh, I would do anything for a video.
Moments are barking. I go down to the end of the hallway because the bird starts coming down the hallway. The bird lands on the glass window gently. He smacks it and sticks down to the ground.
What must they have thought? Like, what is happening in this house?
And so then he's like a little dizzy. The bird's like, Phil gets him up on his finger and takes him back to the cage. And I'm finally, after 4 minutes or so of mayhem.
Did they stay there?
They stayed. Wow. I can see
bold move.
So it's
bold
this old
choice.
man. It's this old man. So I open the door. My hair's not brushed this morning. I do have clothes on. I'm not like Phil, just in my teddy. And I opened the door and I said, I'm sorry, there was a little incident.
You did not.
I did. I said,
can I help you? That's what I would
said, yeah. I'm sorry, there was a little incident. And the guy goes, I could see.
And you didn't see well enough to care to walk away.
He's like, I just need
Did you?
He's like, sir, I just need you to sign this thing. And I'm like, I don't even care what it is. I'm just signing so you leave. Oh, dear God. I wish we would have had the ring light. That would have been a viral video. Phil,
you meant like a bird that got loose and it was like, Maureen. And like, what?
Yeah.
That was Daddy. Wait.
Daddy, he's got no legs like Magritta. It was so bad. It was a viral bat video that ended up in the kitchen.
I feel like we watched that when we were on like a girls' trip.
Yeah. You guys, we'll put the link for that. I'm sure it's down there because they ended up
so funny.
They got a
Maureen gun. Did you see like the lady hiding behind the?
That was like his mom or something. It ended up being a kid and his mom and dad. But that
like shamed her. Yeah, somebody shamed someone for running away from. Oh, it was so funny. We'll have to share the video.
They're trying to
hilarious.
It's good. If you haven't seen the viral bat video, we'll do that. I wish there was a viral video of Phil trying to get that bird.
Same.
But the
person, what's a victim?
That person at the door would leave, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. There was a incident. I could see. No shit. Like everything was falling apart. But that is the joy right there. We live for moments like that with our animals.
Do we?
It's bond.
Those aren't the moments. But so Harmony does this new thing. You know how dogs kind of like bark in their sleep?
Yeah.
So we joke that she borfs. She doesn't bark. Like she has the deepest voice for a tiny dog. She's like, woof, woof. Like it's super deep. And she's been so often lately just like, woof, like running in her thing. And we're just cracking up. And like last night, she was barfing in her sleep and then her eyes opened and she was making eye contact with me and still doing it. And I was like,
are you awake?
Wait, is she possessed? What is that? And I was like, Harmony. And she's just barf, barf, barf. And then it was like Harmony and so she was asleep. She was eyes open, looking right at me, barfing in her sleep.
Barfing.
And just like Harmony saying borf, borf. And I said, we haven't taught her how to say anything else.
Yeah, this is what she does. This is her individual, personal borf.
Yeah.
But this is the joy of, like, I cannot tell you how much happiness. This sounds like maybe that incident wasn't the best thing to use as a.
I would Mike Kingdom for a video of that. I would love to see that.
They're just, to me, a dog or a cat, if you love cats, or a bird. They're just this little love bucket and
love bucket.
They're just full of love. And I've never had unconditional love from a human like I have from my dogs. My dogs just look at me and I always say they give me the gooey eyes, the gooey affection. They love me. And I do very little of the heavy lifting. My husband, he does a lot of the clean up,
dog pooped in your shoes or whatnot.
Yeah, dog pooped on your side of the bed. And I'm like, come here and sit on my lap and let me hug you. And then he does all that heavy lifting.
So when we had Harmony and Tink and Atlas are two of the dogs that passed last year, I used to joke like, Harmony, you're the pretty dog. And Tink, you're the good dog. And Atlas, you're also a dog.
You're a dog. You're here.
And we had the dames and the grumpy old men because when my daughter-in-law moved in with us, she had a chihuahua named Dodger. And he was from the mean streets. His nickname was Switchblade.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we're pretty sure he was packing. He was so cute because he had like a gum disease or something. And his tongue hung out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it would just flap.
Seriously bad.
And when we got Sabine, she didn't understand social boundaries with dogs. You know how dogs will just kind of like correct, like, hey, don't do that to me. I don't like it. And she would try to play with him and she'd wiggle up over him and he'd scream. And it was like, oh, poor Dodger. He's the third one that passed. But
he had no boundaries.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we had the pretty one and the good one. And Alice, you're also a dog.
I know, like, the animals, I pretty much always had pets.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few times in my life where I recognized I was just too busy commuting and raising kids. There were times when we didn't have a dog or a cat just because there are times you shouldn't have, like when you're really, really busy, they are a time investment. They're a big monetary investment. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, let's just go get a dog. But it's a huge...
Don't get a dog unless you have the time and the means to properly take care of them.
Yeah. It's like, it's a whole...
Dogs need attention just like we do.
Yeah.
They don't have control over their environment the same way that we do. So like if you're not able to spend time with them or take them for walks or do something that's going to get them moving or feel engaged, like...
They want to be in a pack. Yeah. They want to be an active member of your family, and they need that interaction. They don't do good by themselves. I just talked someone into getting a dog for their dog because they had a single dog.
That's why we got Harmony, because we just had Atlas, and it was like, he needs a playmate. And then when we knew that my son and his wife were moving out, it was like, well, they're going to take Atlas and Dodger. And Tink had moved with my sister. So it was like, Harmony's going to be by herself. So that's why we got Sabine.
Right.
And then it was like Ahsoka was just because we like, she was so cute. Oh my God. She's the most scared little peanut. Oh my God. She is scared of everything. She just sits and shakes. Like, poor little.
And that's the ones that need a very...
There is an episode where we're holding a dog. Yeah. Ahsoka would be okay here.
Yeah. I won't bring Chi-Chi.
Thank you for that.
Chi-Chi is now old and incontinent. He's in a belly band.
Oh.
But he's just kicking, man. He's like...
Atlas was 19 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when we had Dodger and Atlas and Harmony and Sabine, we or my son and his wife called them the grumpy old men and the dames. So now we just have 3 dames.
Yep.
The grumpy old men.
There's nothing like a dame.
Yes.
Yeah. Have that song.
Yes. So we would love to hear if you have fun pet stories. Show us pictures of your dogs in the comments. We love all the fur balls, even though it felt a little judgy about the cats, just a little bit, but we're not actually... I can't own cats because I can't touch them, but they're super adorable and I love watching the videos. So send us all of your pet content.
I mean,
we love it.
We'll give it to cats. They're probably way smarter than dogs. I think that maybe they are very smarter, But yes, we love all the pets. We'd love to see your pets and maybe give a shout out to your
Yes,
pet.
absolutely.
If you're an animal pet lover, freak like we are, that would be probably our official title.
Yes.
Please drop us a line. Let us know. And, I think maybe borf would be a good way to just borf out of this. Borf, 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 borf. And say goodbye and we'll see you later. Toodles.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you laughed, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
We're still hot, just in flashes.